YouTube, back at you again with another video. Man, today's video, we doing a weight reduction, sound, performance, like some of everything in this video. But if you have a Ninja ZX6R, I don't think loud pipes save lives. I really don't. I just think it makes other drivers aware it won't save your life. It's practice, weighing 4 gear, and riding with a lot of discernment. That's what keeps you alive. Not no loud exhaust, not no fast, super fast bike, nothing like that. But in this video, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna change out. No, I'm just kidding. Don't weigh nothing. I literally hold it like this in one hand. But the O.E.M exhaust, no, you can't do that. You can't do that at all. But in this video, we're gonna install an M4 slip-on exhaust, and not only we're gonna install an M4 slip-on exhaust, I'm gonna let you hear what the O.E.M exhaust sounds like, so that we can do a sound comparison in case this is something you want to do to your bike. And also, I'm gonna remove the O2 sensor, servo, and we're gonna remove the honeycomb inside of the catalytic converter. Because when I had the ECU flashed, I told him that it's a straight pipe. So he's under the impression that there is no type of restrictions in the exhaust. I did tell him that the header is stock, but I removed the honeycomb. So I'm under the impression he tuned the bike for maximum exhaust airflow. Does that make any sense? So yeah, so that's what we're gonna do today on the bike. Stay tuned. I hope that you guys enjoy. Please subscribe, hit that like button, and I will leave a link in the description for the exhaust and the O2 sensor bung in the description below. So if you want to know where I got it from, just take a peek down there. I'm not sponsoring anything, so yeah. Alright, when the bike gets too hot and I gotta touch the exhaust, let's just stop it there. Alright, so that's what the bike sounds like stock. Let's take all this off and see what it sounds like then. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this servo, because I've been wanting to take this out for the longest now. And now I have somewhere to put my my practice chalk and little small cone so I can practice with. So let me grab a 10mm, because you're gonna want to take off this bolt and this one, and then you're gonna disconnect the servo. Let me show you what I mean. All right, so to get started, we're taking out the servo, which we're no longer gonna need. And let's take out this 10mm socket down in the back, which is that right there. That one, this one here, and this one here. So let me take this one off first. Boom, and then let's take this back one off. There's a track day coming up in the middle of February that I have to prepare for, and since my ECU has been gone, I haven't really been practicing like I like to. Another thing too, man, just the servo feels like a weight reduction. All this stuff really, but yeah, I think you should. I mean, I wouldn't say everybody should get an exhaust, because I don't, like I said, I don't think loud exhaust may save any lives or anything like that. But I think an exhaust does make the bike feel a little bit lighter and easier to maneuver. When I got the exhaust on the CBR 650R, it was lighter as well. All right, so at this point, what you want to do, take this whole thing out. All right, just to make this a little bit easier for you to understand, okay? This servo comes with 2 clips, the red and gray, then the yellow, I think that's white and red, and then a black. All you got to do is just pull them apart. Here's one, and then this other one. It's a bit tricky, but you have to pinch it So you have to pinch this one down and pull off. And then now the servo is completely disconnected. All that space, dog. There's this little clip right here. You take this off for the flathead. Pop this clip off, and then these will then slide out. Everything I'm trying is making me seem like I'm wrong. Guys, it actually can't come off. You just have to apply a little bit of pressure and it pops right off. All right, so look, once you get this off, right, you're gonna pull this forward, just like the clutch, up and out. Now this is loose. Same thing for this side. All right, so let's continue with removing the exhaust. All right, so to get the actual muffler off, which is the next step that we have to do, we have to take off, obviously, the heat shield so we can get access to what's behind it. And then I can take off these servo cables, and then we're gonna work our way all the way to the bottom of the muffler, or the header. So this is a 10. Pop this off. Just a regular heat shield. I know in the very beginning of the bike build, I took these off the actual front of the bike and I put some black covers, and that's what I was trying to explain to you, that this was the idea from the beginning that I wanted to do anyway. All right, so there goes the heat. There goes the heat shield with its 2 bolts that holds the heat shield into place. This is the actual servo, or the flap, that we need to get access to get these cables off. Well, all I need to do is just loosen these 2 here, and then the servo cable can come out. That's one option. Another option is to loosen this. Well, actually, I can route the cable out now. So to do that, you pop off this side of the bike. They're already loose because I loosened them a little while ago. And then this clip here is the only thing that holds it in place. So you pop that clip off, pull the cable out, pop that clip back on, and then you just route the cables out of the bike. It's up like that, and it goes down in there, and then it comes out behind the rear brake. It's here. This is the 2 cables right here. So I don't like making things difficult for myself. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pull one out like this. So now we just gotta take off this 10mm. Oh no, it's holding down the entire frame. Hold up. Yeah, it is. Nah, there's another way. All right, another way is to pull it underneath like that. You don't have to take all that off. Okay. All right. So now that I got the flap cable, servo cables out, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loosen this 10mm and this 10mm, and then the muffler section of the bike is gonna come off, and I'm gonna focus all of my attention on the actual baffle of the bike. So let's take that off real quick. This, and this are all 5mm. Let me show you real quick. Bam, 5mm. They fit just right. All right, so now that I got the heat shield off, I did have to take off this one plastic piece, which is this one. It comes with a plastic washer. Don't lose any of that. But the next one I have to take off is this one. If I'm not mistaken, this is a 7mm, and then I'll have access to this clamp here to the header part, and then we obviously got to get access to the O2, and we're gonna disconnect the sensor. It's right up. So if you look at the cable, this is the cable. It goes up behind there, and the connector is right. It's right there. That's the connector. I'm gonna take the connector off, pull the O2 sensor cable completely out, and then I'm gonna bang out all of that filament stuff, the honeycomb inside of here. It's already getting hot. Now that I got this bolt completely loose, now the hard part is basically pulling this part off while the bike wanting to roll back and up and down motion until it comes completely out. I don't know how I'm gonna do this by myself, but I'm gonna try. Once I get this part off, I'm gonna take the O2 sensor off, disconnect that, bong that hole. No, I'm gonna disconnect it. I'm gonna bang out all of the stuff inside, then bong that hole, then put the M4 exhaust. I apologize if this video is really long. It's just that I'm trying to get everything done the right way without having to struggle. But as you guys can see, it's not even moving. I'm trying to All right, let me loosen this ball a little bit more and see what happens. All right, guys, so what I'm gonna work on next is taking out that honeycomb. There's 2 of them. All right, so while banging out this this part here, I don't want to damage the O2 sensor, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab me an adjustable wrench. I'm gonna put it on here and knock this O2 sensor loose. Knock this O2 sensor loose. And like I said before, if you just follow the cable, it goes here. This is it. Pull it back, just so I don't damage it. There's your O2 sensor. It's currently disabled on the bike right now, which I don't care about. And you kind of just pull this until you get access to the O2 sensor. The switch, I'm sorry, the connector is literally right there. So now that I know I got the O2 sensor off, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the entire header. So to do that, you gotta take this bolt out, and then there's a clip at the very top of that radiator, and then you just gotta get access with an adjustable, a socket. If I'm not mistaken, it's a 12mm. Take that part off, and then the header itself should come straight down. All right, guys, so in this part, I had to take my header out. I don't know another way to do it. So I'm gonna take my header out of the bike, like so. Take off all my plastics just to get easier access to the side of the bike. Now, I can just put this in the grass and focus all of my attention on taking that out of there. So now let me get a nice long flathead screwdriver and bang the hell out of it. Okay, so while taking out that honeycomb, I want you guys to just enjoy some music. I want to show you a little bit of the progress that I've made so far. So my method to this madness is to use a, basically what I'm doing is I'm breaking it into chunks. So this was the first chunk that was in that corner right there. And then now I just broke loose this chunk here. And I'm gonna work my way around the inside. But I don't know if you guys can see, you see how clear the edge is? I'm gonna have the edges on the inside of the header smooth, and then I have to hammer out that other honeycomb on the other side. Let me take this side of the honeycomb out and I'll show you what I mean. But basically this is how long it is inside of the, it's not that bad. I'm using a flathead, really long flathead and hammer technique. I did have to take the header off the bike, but not everybody have to do it this way, but I just want to make sure that the airflow is smooth and I don't want to damage any bolts or parts on the bike as far as the fairings. So let me just keep going. Let me take this part out. I think I already loosened it. Let me see if I can grab it out of there now. With the longest needle nose pliers I currently have. There it is. And then there's that second honeycomb inside on the other side. So I'm gonna get my longer screwdriver flathead. I'm gonna bang that side out, but basically this is the honeycomb. This is how long it is. So if you work at it long enough, you'll get it out. So that's the first 2 pieces. Let me take out the rest. All right, guys, so if you look inside, I got all of it out. Straight pipe all the way through. So yeah, so now what I'm gonna do is I went to the O'Reilly store. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I went to the O'Reilly store. Some people like the way this look, this burn half look. I don't know. For me, after a while, it begins to get rusty and it looks terrible on the bike. So I went and picked up some header flame-proof paint. I'm gonna paint the whole entire header dark black so that it fades into the bike. And the only time you'll really see it if it's extremely hot and it turns red. So what I'm gonna do is I got some alcohol in a rag. I'm gonna wipe down the entire header and I'm gonna paint the whole thing black. Yeah, so let me do that real quick and I'll see you guys in a sec. So now that we got the header the way we want it, now I'm going to focus all of my attention on disconnecting the O2 sensor cable. So I'm going to try my best to see if I can show you where this goes. Alright, you can see that little brown right there. I don't know if it's coming in clear. Hold on, let me see. Oh, there we go. Alright, so this right here is the connector. All you got to do is push that tab up with a flathead screwdriver and then pull on the cable and it'll pop right out. I'm gonna knock this out real quick and show you what I mean. I actually need 2 hands. I can't do this with one and it's barely able to get any fingers in there. Okay, so I got the O2 sensor plug completely out of the bike now, and the connector is literally right there. So if you want to clutch out of the bike, you go in, it's right there, right underneath the air box. All right, YouTube, so let's see what comes into the package as together. So once you unwrap all of this, all you're gonna get in the middle is the hardware kit and a slip-on itself, and that's it. Boy, I was gonna stop recording and just keep rocking on. I put the fairings back on the bike. The only thing that's missing is the top part, which goes up here, but I don't want to do that yet because I'll do something else next. So let me just knock off this top one. The socket for the top one is a T40. There it is, T40. And I'm gonna knock off the rear set because the rear set has to come off in order to install the M4 slip-on muffler. Alright, that one's loose. Let me take the other one loose. I'm gonna need 2 hands. Alright guys, so I got the muffler on the scale and it's coming up at 0 pounds. I don't have a ounce scale, but according to the weight scale that I use, no matter where I put it on the scale, it says 0. I'm holding it with a finger and it's not weighing anything. So I don't know how to weigh this aftermarket exhaust, but everything that comes in the box does not weigh anything on my weight scale. So I'm gonna put all of the O.E.M stuff on here and see if any weight numbers come up. This is a lot of stuff. I'm gonna put it all in one box and I'm gonna weigh everything. So in order for me to do this the right way, I'm gonna have to put everything in and then close the box and then stand the box up. Because as you can see, you can't see anything. The O2 sensors are part of the O.E.M exhaust. All this hardware stuff, the receipt is not. Okay, heat shield. I think with this stuff, I'll just put the muffler in with it. Okay. Oh man, the scale's not showing any numbers. The scale might be off. Yeah, it's not coming up with any numbers. So I can't weigh it. It says here to replace the supplied sleeve M4 with the head bolts. So these are the ones that were on the bike coming off. Oh, here it is. Remove the exhaust cables from the stock blah blah servo. Remove the stock muffler. Remove the right foot peg bolts and replace with the supplied serve head bolts. See in the photo. Install the supply bracket into the inside of the chassis. See photo below. I don't see it, but I'm assuming it's talking about this. This goes on the top, and then this goes to the foot pegs. So if you mount it onto the bike, the way it's gonna go like this. It's gonna go, so it's pretty much gonna go like this. So, but it's gonna go behind everything back here. So real quick, these bolts are 12s, and I already have them placed in the back, right there. I just gotta tighten them down. I'm gonna get my 12mm. I did put Loctite, so it should tighten up, should snug up pretty good on both sides. So now that you have this bracket here in place, I can grab the M4 exhaust. I can place it inside of this hole. Oh, the one part I was explaining to you that will have to reuse is this inner part here from the old exhaust, for this one to fit snug. So you have that put in, you slide the new exhaust the new M4 inside. I need 2 hands so it doesn't fall. Let me see if I can do it with this hand instead. Oh, this goes on the outside. Okay, a little bit more, and like that. So now that I have this one in place, all right, while taking and reducing weight, there is a old exhaust holder thing here. These were in its place. I just took them out. You don't need it. I'm trying to get rid of as much weight as I can. So all of this here goes in the stockpile of the old exhaust, adding more weight. This feels like it weighs a couple of ounces. All right, so now that you can see, I put the clips back in because the trunk part of the bike never has to be open going forward. So now let's start the bike. I want to hear what it sounds like already. I think we've wasted enough time trying to figure out if the bike is ready to be started. All right. So let's have it in the on position. Key in. You guys ready for this? Burning off. That's okay though. After a few rides, the bike is going to sound and ride nice. Also, there's a dB killer in there. You take that dB killer out, it's going to be even louder. But I actually don't mind this loudness. I'm just gonna wait for all that to burn off. I'll see you guys in a sec. I wanna thank you for watching the ZX6R M4 exhaust system upgrade on the Ninja ZX6R 2020. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.